Update 5.10 has arrived in Marvel Strike Force. Is this an update filled with hype or disappointment? We have information on the Knowhere Heist event coming up, but are the requirements too steep? We got information on the Echo event, Dr. Voodoo event, more data mines, and a lot more on your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. This week, I am joined by my brother, Boilon. And if you're ready for this news update, Boilon, brother, tell him what to do.
Let's go boil it.
ValleyFlyin.
Oh yes, Valley Maniacs, it is time once again for your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. Welcome to the ValleyFlyin channel. This week, I am joined by my brother, Boilon, and we are discussing all about Marvel Strike Force. It has been a busy week, my friend. We have update 5.0 that arrived, and we're discussing all about the updates. We got a new character in Echo. We got some events coming up for Voodoo, for Echo, and Knowhere Heist, which is something that I know you know something about. So, in general, how are you liking this update, my brother?
Well, I'm glad that I'm not crashing because I heard that there's a lot of that, and I don't know if it's because I'm running iOS and it's worse on Android, but I've not been seeing it as much as everyone else has.
Yeah, there was some issues with the update coming on Wednesday instead of Tuesday, and some people trying to update that on their store. That wasn't working, but I guess the game is working for some now. I haven't had any issues, but I am playing on iOS, except when I'm playing on BlueStacks. So I'm not sure where these issues are coming from. I know some people aren't even able to load the game. Do you know if these issues are isolated just to Android, or is it also affecting iOS users?
I haven't seen it much on iOS, but I heard that maybe there was something related to the Amazon App Store. I don't really use that much. It's not a big thing here in Canada because we don't even get Amazon coins.
Oh,
so
they don't let you guys use it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I did hear from others that might have been a source, and then obviously Android platforms probably getting it a lot worse. And in the past, that's really been the case too. I remember that Android's got affected a lot more than iOS in general when it comes to update related stuff. So
yeah. Weird. I don't know. So hopefully they solve this quickly. I know there's a lot of people experiencing issues, not able to load the game. Why do they always do this? Why can't they double check their work, Boilon? Why is this like every time an update comes, it's like, what is gonna break this time? Is it gonna be a new costume? Is it gonna be people unable to load the game at all? Is it some weird bug going on? But I guess it's just not able to load the game at all. So.
Come on, we know they don't have much QA over there, so.
Wait, you're implying that they have some? Not much would mean they have some, right?
Maybe they need to, maybe they need to hire one more person at least.
At least one more, just to help them with these updates. Just an update verification person.
That's their job.
All right, so hopefully they get these solved soon. If there's other bugs that you guys are experiencing, let us know in the comments so we can pass these on to the devs. But let's talk about this new character, Echo. Now, as you can see, I didn't unlock her. I got very unlucky with the red stars. This is my third character in a row. I get very unlucky with red stars, so not purchase her. I don't think I'm gonna purchase her because she's a war defense character. I know you don't normally purchase characters, but we were talking beforehand. You have unlocked Echo. What are your first-hand thoughts of Echo?
Well, I mean, she's not a great standalone character, so let's be real. But, you know, I said for a while, and a lot of people have seen me with Squirrel Girl on my channel. I have a 7 red Squirrel Girl, so I decided to go all in to this Young Avengers team, and I thought this was the team for me. I got a really, really good red star pull, and so for once, you know, it's been a very long time since I've paid to unlock a character, and I actually don't like doing it for 100 shard characters. It's even more, right? You know,
and a war defense character.
Yeah, I know. So this is a one-off for me. This is like a once in a year. This is I'm done for 2022 already. But yeah, so she's okay. We're gonna need Kate Bishop though.
Okay. I'm wondering, what have you used her outside of this game mode? Because when I first saw her kit in this blog post a couple weeks ago, the first thing I noticed, very long cooldown on her special, 5 out of 5. Very long cooldown on her ultimate, so she has very long cooldowns. And as we saw her in game, we saw her speed She is a very slow character. 98. Yeah. My goodness. Now I guess on war defense, she's doing a lot of assist, counterattacks, things like that. So I guess that doesn't matter too much on war defense. But outside of war defense, does she have any viability at all?
That speed is really hurting her, and unfortunately, because her ultimate starts at such a high cooldown, a lot of us were like, maybe we could use it in arena, right? Because that turn bar rewind sounds nuts. Yes. But getting to that is the difficult part, and it's not really arena viable. Her speed just really, I think, cripples her a little bit in like raids or anything like that. So I don't think so. But I'm always open to, being able to test it elsewhere. I just don't think my 3 yellow right now is going to be enough to make a valid test outside of war. But she does have a top 3 damage stat in the game. So, as far as her passive goes and in war defense, I think it will show up. It will show better once we got the full team.
Yeah, obviously this team looks to be bonkers on war defense. I'm just wondering outside of that, if there's anything. Arena, I don't see it. Raids, we already have a good solution for skill. I don't think we need that for skill, and I don't think there's any cool new tag that she might have that will give her viability and gammas over anything else, or the Greeks over anything that we have.
Not really seeing it right now, but hey, who knows? Maybe later.
All right, so I guess that's my next question about her event that's coming up. She has an event coming up this Friday, according to the blog post. Mirror image event. This looks to be very similar to what we've had from Magic, is what I'm guessing, where you have a store, you have rewards, you have to get a lot of currency by blitzing to purchase in the store, and then the majority of the milestones look like you get them from purchasing things in the store. What are your thoughts on this event? Are you looking forward to this? Is this something that you're going to push hard for?
Well, we know that the Fighting Spirit milestone is 100% Blitz. So no, not from that perspective. Because that's probably where you're going to get a lot of the currency from.
It looks like you're getting some through daily objectives.
A little bit. It's not a lot.
A little bit.
It's not a lot. But the Fighting Spirit milestone, that's where the majority of it's going to come from. And it's all it says. You can read it right there. It just says by winning in Blitz. There's nothing else in there. So I don't know how many rotations a day they're expecting us to do to clear this, but
it's been 4 or 5 in the past.
That's usually
that'll be about 4 or 5 per day.
But I just, come on, man. We all hate doing this on like blitzes, right? It's not fun. It's not fun. We do have T'Challa coming up. I think we'll be talking about that later. But still, and that's probably going to drive up if it's running, after, I don't know when this event is actually starting, but if it's during the T'Challa Blitz,
I think it starts on Saturday.
That's sort of, in the middle of T'Challa, so that's even worse. So I don't know.
Well, I think that's better. I'm going to be doing that 4 or 5 rotations anyway. So it's not like I'm wasting time.
It might drive the score up even more, and I don't know. I'm so blissed out. I'm going back down to we'll talk about that later, but I'm so exhausted. Blitz is exhausting.
It's tiring. It is. It's not fun.
I'm getting grades.
All right, so we're getting this event now. With this, we'll see what happens with this update. Though we got a lot of reworks. We got a reworks to Elsa. We got reworks to Ghost Rider, Mordo, America Chavez, who might have the best rework of all these characters. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Miss Marvel, and of course your favorite Squirrel Girl.
Absolutely.
Right, we got some crazy stat increases for all these characters. Elsa got some huge stat increases. Ghost Rider did as well. All of them got some crazy stat increases. Who do you think is the biggest winner of all these rework characters?
I actually think it's Ghost Rider. Maybe not as far as the kits go, but as far as the stats go, Ghost Rider is a big monster now. If you look across the board on all the stats, he's well in the top 10 or top 15 of every single stat now, aside from armor. But other than that, he's seen a significant rework compared to the rest of the characters. They all got really good buffs, and I'm really glad that they're doing this, because it really makes me hopeful that if your favorite character, out there, hasn't been buffed up yet, then when they do, it will be pretty good.
So wasn't he one of the top characters as far as stats when he was released?
Well, that's it.
Or I'm remembering that wrong.
It was pretty good when he came out, and then now he didn't get huge on the health, but he didn't really need it. His health was already pretty big. He's got a big passive as well, but the other stats really just elevate him. Now, whether or not that actually translate into in-game, because of his kit, I don't know, but his numbers are still looking pretty good.
hopefully their testing on this team was gave them the numbers they want. I know they don't test the patches because of all the bugs, but hopefully they did some testing on the team and it works how it's supposed to. So Ghost Rider, your big winner as far as a stat boost. I think I know who you're going to say, but who do you think was the biggest winner as far as the kit boost that they got here in this update?
Squirrel Girl, or America Chavez, but for me it's Squirrel Girl because I love Squirrel Girl.
I know you're a little biased. I'm going to go America Chavez, but Squirrel Girl got a good one as well.
Her passive was really, and actually,
all
around.
Which one are you talking about? America or Squirrel Girl? So I can scroll to the right.
Squirrel Girl first.
Okay.
There's the passive. I mean, come on. There's the thresholds, the hit point thresholds. That's big, and that's outside of Ward as well. And so I like that.
Increase to the drain, increase to the max health.
Yeah, the health threshold 75, 50, 25.
Death proof. This is going to be so annoying to try to fight this team.
And it's outside of war, which I really like, so it's more viable in that way. And her stats were already good, kind of like Ghost Rider. Squirrel Girl had some really great stat totals, and so now it's just even better after the rework.
All right, with this new kit, these changes, it is better. I would agree. Does this give her more viability in any of these other game modes, though?
I think so. I'm using her in Doom Raid 2 bio. She's in part of my team.
Okay.
Called the Young Warriors. So I use
you got a new team.
I use her alongside instead of Spider Punk. So I use 4 Web Warriors and I use Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
Because Squirrel Girl has synergy with Miles, and so that really helps out there.
Weren't people already replacing that before this rework just because of the synergy?
Yeah, I was using it beforehand as well, and so now it's just even better because of the rework. Nice. So I was using it both before and after.
All right, and the other one that you mentioned, America Chavez, or I guess both of us mentioned. Everybody knows about America Chavez and that this crazy passive here. Does this give her? I mean, this is gonna be crazy on Ward defense, regardless of the team. Does this give her any viability outside of this, in your opinion?
Probably not. But okay. I mean, it's very future-proofed in a way because, speed is so important in this game that since it's not locked to her team, that'll be good for, I don't know, if we get 2 other busted characters, that are better than the Eternals down the line, and then you stick them next to Chavez, right? Or, anything like that. And the reduce enemy drain by 100% is really nice, not team locked either. So that's kind of interesting and how that might play out in the future.
So let's talk about this team and a little bit more. We're talking about the reworks and things. Is this now the top war defense team? Has this replaced Heroes for Hire as the top war defense?
I don't know if they're going to be as annoying as Heroes for Hire, because we know that when Heroes for Hire came out, that made me want to quit the game almost. Come on, it was like a 5-minute fight and like you barely win, and it revives after revives. It was a super annoying, irritating fight. I don't think this is going to be like that because it doesn't have that revive mechanic. And I think it's going to be a bit more beatable. I feel that Heroes for Hire was kind of like a brick wall. It was like, okay, if you don't have the right tools, you just don't beat it.
Yeah, right? You need trauma and you need heal block. Or
because the charges
kept
coming back then. And so with this, I think that if you chip away at them with the Young Avengers, maybe the first attack you kill 2 characters, then you come back in and it's a lot easier. So I think it's like 2-3 shottable with different teams, but it's not going to be that brick wall that Heroes for Hire is. So is it better than Heroes for Hire? I don't think so, actually. I think Heroes for Hire was designed just to be just really like kind of the way the Eternals are super OP. I think Heroes for Hire was just designed to be that war defense OP, and it's not happening again, hopefully. And then Young Avengers might be that number 2.
All right, well, let's talk about the current, because we don't have all these Young Avengers right now. Is a hybrid team with America Chavez now one of the top war defenses out there? Obviously, maybe not better than Heroes for Hire, but is an America Chavez hybrid team right now without Kate Bishop, without this full team in there? Do you think that is tops as far as war defense right now?
I would say so, because it's probably going to make you waste a very meta war offense team, whether that's Weapon X or Infinity Watch or something, because that turn bar, it really elevates the Eternals past any existing speed meta. The Emma Loki Cable thing. Like, you actually can't overcome that.
This goes
with those
before
3 characters.
This goes before that team, unless you
I'm pretty sure I tried it, and then you can't overcome that extra speed from the others. America Chavez's speed bar is so high, and so at the very least you're gonna have to. And the other part is, how do you, because it's locked behind the T4s? How do you know when you're going into it that they actually have the T4? And it's like a house of mirrors.
You don't even need the T4. You just place them on the team. Your opponents can't tell if you have the T4 or not. and they gotta waste their turtles or something
Yeah.
just because. Yeah, you
That's
can't
crazy.
tell. That's an excellent point. All right, so this is very, very strong. Now let's talk about the next new team, and we can't get the whole team because they're not all Dark Hunters. But let's talk about what we have right now. What is your hype level for this new Dark Hunters team as another solution to those dirty, evil, quit? Almosting heroes for hire. What is your thoughts on this team? They got trauma, they got heal blocks, they got ways to overcome those dirty guys. What is your hype level for this?
For me, I mean, I don't think I'm going to have the resources for both Young Avengers and this team. So unfortunately, you know, as someone who doesn't spend a lot, I don't know if I'll personally be going into this because I don't know if I'll have the resources for it, especially on the back of using a lot of my Mystic gear for Eternals, New Warriors, all that kind of thing. I'm not sure what I have in terms of my overall resources. But, you know, if you're someone who enjoys war and you get frustrated by Heroes for Hire, I think this will be a good team. But also another thing is that I'm concerned about the lack of punch-up potential because the devs did say that it was more of a punch across, not a punch-up. So for those who have a really high build Heroes for Hire, what kind of level do we need to build these to reasonably kill them is, I guess, the question.
What were they saying about the range within about 50k either way?
Yeah,
the Dark Hunters to beat the Heroes for Hire, and they said that this Dark Hunters team should beat every single meta team in the game except for the Young Avengers.
Well, let's find out. I guess if we ever get access to test this, then let's find out if we can put the money where the mouth is.
I mean, there's a lot of city heroes on the Young Avengers, right? Morbius goes against that. I kind of feel like they would do.
It's only two. It's not all of them, but it's only two of them: Squirrel Girl and Miss Marvel. So it might be the case where you might be able to use this team against them. You know, kill those two, and then it's still not a one shot. You know, but it might be like a 2-shot area. I think so. We'll have to see, though. Of course, this is the second half of the patch, so we won't really find out probably for a couple of weeks.
Yes. Now, also coming in the second half of the patch is an event for our boy Dr. Voodoo, and I'm wondering what will this event look like? It obviously like a normal event. I guess not the event. What is this orb gonna look like for this event? This looks like a very generous event, and I like this because this seems like the character with the most use outside of war based on his kit. So what are your expectations for this event? And then we'll go and look at that new trait and the Spirit Slayer trait and look at what you think will be in that orb, because we do have a data mine about that orb. It's a little confusing. So before we check out the data mine, what are your thoughts on this event?
I mean, it should probably just be a standard campaign event. But as far as the traits go, you know, I think that the characters that are required to use for that, for newer players anyways, it might be a bit challenging because I was looking at the Spirit Slayer traits. You know, for my roster anyways, I'm obviously fine, but the selection of characters aren't stellar for new players, sorry. So it might be a bit tougher than other events in the past for those people.
I'm seeing some good characters. I'm seeing a Hela Loki combo. I don't know if Hela is still hard.
They're
for
not really
players.
accessible. Like pre-70, you know, there's not a lot of great characters in here that are like accessible. I think, other than like Cloak now because he's in the raid store. But you know, a lot of these other ones.
These have been easy in the past. I think you could still. I think newer players could, maybe not newer players. The mid-game players should still be able to auto through this with your top 5 Spirit Slayers.
The full Dark Hunters team is in there though, which is a first. They don't usually give you a full team. Usually they give you like 2 or 3 of a team. So I don't know if this is them pushing you to level them up, you know, because it's the patch. And
I don't know. All right, so who do you think is going to be in the orb? Usually they have all these characters minus a few. Is there anybody that stands out? Maybe Ghost Spider, Cloak, Magic, and some of the newer characters. Obviously not Mob because he's a legendary, but anybody standing out that might not be included in this orb?
I think they'll cut it off at Ghost Spider. I think they might give you Magic, but they won't give you Ghost Spider.
No Ghost Spider. That's
probably not. And Cloak's in the raid store, so they'll do that now.
They'll definitely give Cloak. All right, and there's no other coveted characters, just really. Magic and Ghost Spider. All right,
probably not a great orb.
All right, well, let's talk about something that I know excites me. I don't know how many other people it excites, but these new costumes that arrived in the game. We got 3 of them. The first one is with this dude Killmonger. I think this is my favorite costume with a patch. We're also getting 2 more costumes arriving. The Killmonger costume is available right now in the costume shop. We also got this Jubilee Year of the Tiger costume. And sometime in this event, we have this Bishop, or sometimes in this patch, we have this Bishop Marauder costume. Where do you rank these costumes as far as your favorites?
Bishop's at the top for me. I think that's one of the best ones. I have the comic just to the side of me. You know, I follow the comics, the Marauders comics. So yeah, absolutely one of the best ones for me. Unfortunately, I have a feeling it's going to be paid. But
aren't they buy it. Aren't they all?
A lot of them. I depending on where that goes, I might buy into it. Jubilee, it's okay. The Killmonger one was really great. I actually just bought it for 50K. Costume credits, like right away I bought it. Unfortunately, I don't really use my Killmonger too much. I don't really have a lot of places to use him, but the costume is really cool. I like the homage there to the movie.
I like this. I think it looks just like Michael B. Jordan. Well, enough like him that is like,
it
looks
basically.
like him. Yeah. I think it's my favorite. Then I would go Bishop, then I would go Jubilee as far as my ratings. But yeah, just like the Invisible Woman costume. I thought it was an awesome costume. I don't use her in the game. I don't use Killmonger in the game, despite how awesome this costume is. I bought it first time anyway, so that's my ratings. Let me know what your ratings are down below, guys. But other thing coming, we got a Blitz coming. This guy's, I guess they're not really alliance mates. They're related somehow. They're cousins. T'Challa, the Blitz is coming back. First Blitz, the 1% cutoff, 55.2 million. I know you said earlier how much you love blitzing. What was your score in this path, T'Challa? Are you gonna grind hard for this second iteration of his blitz?
I was like 500,000 short of 1%. I released an angry rage video about Blitz like a handful of days ago, and I wasn't happy. I didn't think it was going to be that high. I thought based on Ghost Spider, I honestly thought that people were going to be less interested in him. I thought it would have been lower. Ghost Spider personally.
I did as well.
War character. I thought that Ghost Spider was much more popular, and I thought that's what was going to happen. Clearly, it didn't. I should have pushed a bit harder. I think I missed one, maybe two blitz rotations, and so that's where I died. I didn't make it, but it really kind of made me realize how much time I was spending doing this, because if I don't push 24 rotations, I'm probably not going to make it. And it's over the weekend, and I guess that's the other part too, because it's Thursday to Sunday. I have better things to do with my time, frankly, and so I think I'm just going to be bowing out from now on from that 1%. Even though I might be able to do it, I just can't. I can't do it anymore. I just can't. I don't want to spend the time, the stress. If I miss something, the timers, all of that is just, for me, Blitz is just getting crazy, and it's getting worse and worse and worse every time there's a new patch.
It ain't fun. For me, solving problems is the biggest fun part in this game. When the problem's already been solved and it's just grinding, that's not fun. And Blitz has been a grind for a while. Are you going to push harder based on what you saw the scores were for this first T'Challa? Are you going to push harder in the second, or is it like, I don't care? I'm done from the 1%.
Yeah, I'm done from the 1%. And that's okay. The problem is that if you wanted to go free to play and get a 4-star, you have to get 1% at least once. In order to get a 4-star. Otherwise, you're in the 3-star category. Unfortunately, I can't even try a second time around to get 1%. I'm just not going to do it. So I think from now on, I'm probably going to be in this 35, 45 shard range, just for my sanity. To be honest, and I think my time is worth more for me, even though it's maybe only 6 minutes of rotation. It's just the fact that I have to log in every 2 hours.
Or set a timer on your phone, and
right,
no matter what you're doing,
then my partner here's the timer. I'm like, that better not be a blitz timer, So you, like, they know.
They know.
It's terrible.
Blitz alarms, man. What is worse than that? All right, so let me know what you guys are gonna do for Star-Lord T'Challa. Going harder than the first iteration, or not as hard? And I guess it's gonna couple with this Echo event as well, where you're needing wins and not necessarily scores. So I don't know. It could be pretty crazy. There was a nice new feature added in this event. You know what my favorite feature is?
You tell me. I don't know.
It is these emojis. It is these emojis.
Oh, yeah.
I love that we can put all these emojis in this chat that I never use. I mean, I was hoping for, you know, a slider that we could open our orbs, or even a 10 on everything. You know, some changes to the Red Star store, Greek Sims. They've been talking about Alliance Leader tools to make it a lot easier for over a year now, and I don't think we've gotten very many of them. I was hoping for those, but this is so much better, Boilon. I am so happy we got emojis. What are your thoughts on this awesome new quality of life feature that we got?
Clearly, it was heavily requested. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. I don't know about you, but if I go into my global chat, I bet you there's a bunch of eggplant emojis lying around because, you know, that's what people do.
I'm so glad they're listening to the community. This is a big win, Scopely. I love this.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. All right. There's been some speculation for a while about who the next legendary unlock characters are going to be. And we've had a few characters in the game. Let's just look at some of the more recent ones. Web Warriors. They are a very highly predicted team. What are your thoughts on Web Warriors? We've had Magic speculated. There's speculation on these young Avengers now. I think the traditional pattern has been 3 new characters, 2 old characters. That's been the case for a lot of these legendary events. It was the case for Adam Warlock with these characters being a little old, or these are newer characters, and Longshot, Shatterstar being old kind of at the time. Same thing here with the with Black Bolt, and I can't remember with Ebony Maw, but with Red Guardian, it was like that as well. Secret Avengers, Fury, Winter Soldier. What are you thinking now with, where's your mind going with this next legendary unlock, whoever this character is?
I mean, if I actually thought that the legendary was going to be this patch, and I thought a lot of us did as well.
I did.
But now that's not the case. That's pushing it back to at least next patch. And so usually the unlock characters that are used for legendary events, actually for when they become farmable, because I have a lot of data on this, normally they become farmable within 60 to 100 days. And so when I'm looking at my spreadsheet right now, looking at who's in that sort of range now, you know, a lot of them drop off. And so really we're looking at characters from like last patch. So that's what puts Web Warriors or a Magic combination in a pretty high, you know, potential there. I think anyone before last patch probably is off the table now.
Okay, so starting Magic and beyond. Do you think that they're gonna go with a full team, or they're gonna go with some random grouping like they have in the past? They've also done full teams in the past. So what do you think they're gonna go with this next one?
Well, because it's like the 3 new, 2 old. I mean, I just don't know what kind of combination you'd come up with Magic that would kind of equate to that. You know, like there was something in the past.
Either for some reason, there's a lot of rumors about Magic being this next unlock. Well,
people were suggesting, I think, New Warriors and then Magic and like Phoenix or something like that. But now that it's not anymore, this patch, right? I don't think New Warriors is on the table anymore. I think, you know, Cloak is going to be farmable way too soon. You know, he's in it now, so you have tons of time. Dagger might be around the corner sometime soon, and so at that point, I think it's maybe too early. So I think probably Web Warriors might be the most likely. If it's something other than that, it would be really easy. Because Web Warriors are full of characters there with, you know, shard scarcity. Ghost Spider from a Blitz. Scarlet Spider was low. That was like 126 shards. It was a really weird number.
Yeah, it was very low.
So I think that sounds likely. And then when the next patch comes out, a legendary, like I said, there's this 60 to 100 days when a character is released to when they become farmable. This is very common for legendary releases. If you go back to Secret Avengers, they were farmable within 75 to about 100 days. So, and then if you keep going back, all the other unlocked teams are very similar as well. Multiple Man and Polaris were 71 days. Pimtech were 60 to 90 days. So there's this range here that I have as like, this is the trend. It's a trend. It's a data trend.
Man, the Valley Club was asking me to ask this question. I didn't know how much information you had on this topic, brother.
I collect a lot of data.
You got all the data, girl.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm gonna guess Scarlet Spider definitely because of his low 126 shards. Magic also had a very not friendly shard release for her, so that just makes sense. So I guess I'm gonna go Magic, Ghost Spider, Scarlet Spider, and then 2 other random characters. That's what my guess is.
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
It's just not gonna make sense at all. It's just gonna be characters that low shards.
I'm not sure if there's enough characters to go with Magic though, or like thematically even that I can think of that would makes sense, I guess.
No,
Now.
it doesn't need to be a theme. There's no theme.
Well, it doesn't.
There's no
but
themes.
usually the 3 characters, like, you know, like Secret Avengers, that at least was thematic, you know, and then you had Nick Fury and Winter Soldier or whatever, which is kind of thematic, you know, Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier went in there if they gave him a rework, but the character in the game Winter Soldier doesn't go at all.
True. I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. For me, it's Web Warriors probably, but we'll see.
All right, a lot of speculation, guys. Let me know your guesses. Who is the next legendary unlock characters? But let's talk about this next event coming up, or maybe not the next event, but an event in this patch coming up that people were confused by, and we actually have some data mines that it might not be very friendly. We got these characters in the game right now with the Knowhere Heist patch, or with a Knowhere Heist tag, which is different than we saw before, because previously when it was a game, we had these characters. We had Ock, Kitty Pryde, Rocket, Star-Lord, and Maw. But now in the game, we have all those characters, but Invisible Woman instead of Maw. So I guess my first question is, why do you think Maw was there at one time and now is Invisible Woman with that tag?
I think it was too unfriendly. I think there was a lot of backlash on the inclusion of Maw because he's a legendary within a legendary requiring Black Bolt, and so Invisible Woman. I mean, why they picked Invisible Woman, I don't know, but she is a more frequent legendary. She's every 6 weeks now instead of 3-ish months or whatever. So if you were to miss Black Bolt, then you obviously miss Ebony Maw because you can't do it. So I think the waiting around time is a lot higher for something that they're doing, possibly a monthly Flash event. I mean, we don't know how often it's going to come back, but you would be stuck, right? You know, if Invisible Woman is every 6 weeks, that means you reasonably, between the events, you probably might be able to, you know, do her event. Whereas with 3+ months, it just, you know, you're screwed, right? Without having those characters.
Yes, so we did get some, and I was thinking the other way. I thought they were being more unfriendly by having Invisible Woman included. Your rationale makes sense, having that Black Bolt unlock, but Ebony Maw is a better character. We're gonna have him at that gear anyway. You like Invisible Woman a little better?
Well, I mean, I've done a baby account recently, and frankly, Black Bolt and Ebony Maw just really aren't on the radar anyways for newer players. So
okay.
Yeah, Invisible Woman probably isn't either. She's at level 1 for my baby account, but I'd rather invest in one character than like 10 that I have to do to get Ebony Maw unlocked, you know, like the Inhumans and the Asgardians. So.
All right, makes sense. Now, my next question. Is the juice going to be worth the squeeze for this event? We have some information on what are some potential rewards in here. Mythic Flash event, earning dark promotion credits, which I guess is good. There'll probably be like 10 in there. Elite 7 credits, maybe, I don't know, less golds, more. And then we also have a data mine, though. We have a data mine about some event requirements. So level 1, you need your team at gear 9. Level 2, you need your team at gear 10. Level 3, you need your team at gear 11. Now, do you think for this first iteration of this Knowhere Heist, that's all we're gonna need? Because previous Flash events, we needed a character. I mean, we were only able to do 3 per run. When it comes back, we could do another 3. So I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, we need to get our characters all the way up at gear 15, some trashy characters that we're not using to get this level. Are we even gonna get that option, this first iteration of this Mythic Legendary, or is it gonna be 3 now? 3 the next time it comes in, and then finally at that point we'll be able to do level 7 where we're gonna need our gear 15 characters?
I would assume it would work the same way. I mean, they haven't changed that system for Flash events in some time. But what's interesting is that level 3 requires 6-star and not 5. So now you need 5 and 6-star if you want to do all of the first, the first attempts.
I wasn't looking to star. All right, so 5, and then
6.
Level 3 goes up to 6. Level 5 is where it goes up to 7. All right.
Yeah. So at this point, I think because there's a lot of legendaries involved, I think that 6-star jump so quickly, I think is might be a crutch for some people. They might have the 5-star, but they may not have the 6-star. Or mid-game players maybe, like people like us, we're probably fine, but other people won't be able to get to that 3rd level possibly because of that extra star level jump. And actually it goes up pretty quickly. Even level 5 is 7-star already.
Now if it is only 3 per run, how often do you think this event is going to come back? Once every patch? Once every few months? Is it going to be very rare like some of these other events? I know the Miss Marvel's original event took over a year to come back. So what do you think is going to happen with this Knowhere Heist? It's very little information we know about this so far.
I mean, I would hope it's at least every 2. That being said,
2 weeks or
2 months.
2 months, okay.
Because what we know about legendary events, you know, like I guess I would think you would need a reasonable amount of time in between to get these characters unlocked, a chance to get them unlocked. You know, like I said, Invisible Woman's more like 6 weeks. Unfortunately, Doc Ock is, I think, at this point still 3 months. But you know, it just feels like they might need to not make it every month. Otherwise, that's too frequent, I think, to give people a chance to get the other characters.
What about every patch? What about every patch? That's about every month and a half or so.
Maybe, but I think they want something more consistent. Like it would have to be like every 4 weeks or every 8 weeks or whatever. I don't think they're gonna, you know, kind of dice it in the middle. I think just something more consistent.
All right, I'm fine with consistency on a planned, consistent basis.
I like plans, but
I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Even if I wait a little longer than I would want, if it's a plan and it is a schedule, I'd be happy with that. So let me know your thoughts on this Knowhere Heist, guys. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Are the rewards good enough to get your characters that you may not use at all up to these certain star levels and gear levels? And what do you think? How often is this going to come back? Is it going to be a set schedule or is it going to be random like some of these other things? All right, but we know what is coming back very soon. This guy's event, Ebony Maw, who got unincluded from the Knowhere Heist. I think a lot of people were disappointed in this because they wanted Omega Red, but I have some dates here. Jubilee, her event first was on the 2nd of February, 2021. Her second event was on 6/15/2021, so about 4 months between. Adam Warlock's first iteration of his event, 6/28/2021. His next was 9/20/2021, so that's about 3 months. Omega Red, his first event was November 1st, 2021. So when are you expecting not Ebony Maw, when are you expecting Omega Red coming back for his second iteration? I was thinking it would be sometime in February. Now that it doesn't look like we're getting a legendary character, I'm actually thinking it's going to be the next patch. You think we'll get his event this patch or next patch?
Well, I mean, I hope for everyone, including myself, that maybe he's going to come back around after Ebony Maw, which would place it at February 21. That's because they all come out on Mondays. I hope. Otherwise, after that, I mean, I have my own little calendar thing as well. And I guess if it doesn't come on February 21, then it's kind of restarting the calendar, I think, at that point. So, all right,
so hopefully February 21st. I mean, I think with all the previous few legendaries, they've had the next one announced by the time the second event came around. Is that what your data is telling you as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if Omega Red's not the February 21, I think they're definitely taking the piss there. I think that they're really they're intentionally pissing off the players, because every time a blog post comes around, we're like, is Omega Red coming back yet? When's he coming? And you know, only in my alliance, only a third actually unlocked him, but everyone's ready now for either a 5 or a 6-star unlock now. So yeah, he needs to come around because we need him. We need him.
We do, especially.
And then there was Pocket Dimension, right? So a lot of people didn't get the chance to use him there. And that's, you know, we're not talking about that. But Omega Red still, you know, I think someone that people want to level up.
Yeah, he's still a good character, especially because he gives you another option to defeat those dirty heroes for hire, and then I think you're going to need him for these young Avengers. Let's talk about something that I always love in these updates: bug fixes. I love when they fix these bugs. There were some bugs I didn't even know was going on, like this Captain Sam one. I didn't know Captain Sam was performing team-up attacks with Iron Man.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I did it in battle one time. It's really funny to see him do that.
I didn't know people were combining those characters. There are some other bugs here that were going on, but there's no mention of some of the big bugs that are crashing the game, like Cersei's basic. There's no mention of that. The Captain Sam and his counter ability is still crashing the game for some people. These are not addressed. Other bugs that are just totally crashing the game, not addressed. What are you aware of a lot of these bugs, and are there any other bug fixes that should have been done over these?
I've heard of some of them, but yeah, there's a lot of ones that really surprised me, or I just didn't care. The Cap Sam, anything related to crashing, that really needs to be high priority. And I think a lot of this stems from low graphics mode. I think. You know, I think the Cap Sam is this bug where his shield is like stuck in his chest or something like that, and then that almost precipitates a crash. At least that has with me. And yes, they just, yeah, you know, they need to do more. Yeah, the ones that matter. We don't like. Some of these, I'm like, how did that even register?
Not the cosmetic ones, Scopely. Now, what is going on with low graphics mode? Because I at one time, turning on low graphics mode would reduce the bugs. Then another time, turning it off would reduce the bugs. So where are we now? Is it better to be in low graphics mode, or is it better to be out of low graphics mode?
I don't even know. I mean, I don't know about you, but I used to play low graphics mode when Silver Surfer the thing, you know, and you know, his ult I think would cause slowdown.
Yeah, it just crashed the game. It would just crash the game.
I had to go in low graphics mode. Now I don't even know if that's been fixed. Was that squashed? Because like
I think it was. I've been playing on high graphics, and Silver Surfer's been cool, but
maybe I need to turn my graphics back on then, because that's the whole reason why I had it in the first place.
Maybe you'll get less bugs if you turn your normal graphics on.
Yeah, I know. It just makes no sense, because they normally tell you, you know, support tells you if you have a problem, turn on low graphics mode, and then half the time that's where the problems actually happen.
I love it when they tell us nothing though. Then we just gotta guess it and experiment for ourselves. All right. This is usually my favorite time of every video. Is when we speculate about the newest data mines. Are you ready for some of the newest data mines in the game?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about what we got here. All right, and big shout out to Tana. These are from his server. I guess he's the guy that's doing all the data mines nowadays. First thing that I want to discuss, they talk about this web launch party that is coming. We got more information about the web launch party down below. It looks like it's some integration with this, maybe potentially an API. That's kind of where my head went. But it looks like they're giving out a bunch of orbs. They look like they're launching a new store, and it looks like one of the rewards for connecting with this web launch party is going to be this totally rad Silver Surfer outfit. What do you know about this? What have you heard about this? And is this a good thing for the game?
I think I briefly glossed over this. In terms of, that's not what I actually thought when I first read it. When I heard web launch, I thought something about like Spider-Verse, you know, like webs. When I first heard it, so I didn't actually put that together when what you said there. But yeah, maybe. I mean, I know that there is an API integration coming, and brand new store sounds strange. Like I don't know what
milestone for spending on the web.
Maybe it's an event. You know, maybe it's an event store. Another one.
Could be.
Because I just don't know if I see them putting a brand new store in that we're unaware of. It just seems a bit strange, like a permanent store. So I'm not sure. Like I thought it was a limited time event store personally, but because it says milestones, event stores are often with milestones. I don't know.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one. This is one that the Valley Club told me about in the stream this morning. Said it's a new store. I don't know. There's something about a launch party as well. Log in to celebrate this. I'm wondering if this is something with the launch of all that. They're launching some new store. And I went to API. Nothing in the Datamine says API though, but that's where my head went with this. We'll have to see what happens with that. All right. And there's also talk about a Teal Orb coming. Is this the Teal War Orb that we've been all wanting? Is this what this is about, Boilon?
Well, it's not called Teal War Orb though. It's called Teal Unique Orb. So I don't think so. Is that the
Armory 16 orb that just popped up? Is that what this is about?
It could, maybe if they're renaming that one, it could be because, well, no, because the Armor 16 orb actually only contains. Actually, you know what? I don't know what it contains. I know that it's just like two items.
It had 2 pillars when I looked at it previously. I don't know if it still has 2 pillars.
But unique suggests like
it says 5 teal uniques. Like that seems correct based on having only 2
their
pillars.
definition of a unique is like miasma and stuff like that. I don't think that was in the Armory 16. So I think Armory 16s had mini uniques because you know that's different too.
I don't understand how they define uniques and mini uniques and what all this means.
If this is something that we can get, you know, without paying, then great. But otherwise, if this is some sort of, I don't know.
Wait, Boilon, you know we're talking about Marvel Strike Force, right?
Yeah, sometimes I forget what game we're playing. But you know, if it's free to play friendly, great. If not, then they can go do that. Do something else.
Yeah, do that. What he was referring to.
I had something planned, but Gonna be family friendly.
Yes, it's always good to be family friendly. All right, so we got information about this mirror image event that should be happening on Friday. But this is the confusing one for me. Dr. Voodoo preparing for battle, all that stuff about his event. Now, if we look at this part here, it says each node in a Heroes Haunting event contains Spirit Slayer orb fragments that contain select characters with a limited time Spirit Slayer trait, excluding legendary characters. So I think the only one in there was Dr. Octopus. No Longshot. Longshot does not have that tag. Symbiote Spider-Man does not have that tag. Emma Frost does not have that tag. Coulson does not have that tag. So what does this Datamine mean? Does it mean somewhere? Does it mean something that I'm not guessing? But what? There's no Longshot. There's no Symbiote Spider-Man in there. So what is going on? What does this text mean? There's no Emma. None of these characters. Look at this. They're not here. Yeah. They're not here. They're not here. So what does this Datamine mean, Boilon?
It sounds like a massive snafu on their part, but Symbiote Spider-Man, Emma, and Coulson are all like former Milestone Orb characters. I don't know if that's a connection there. Why that matters, I have no idea, but I was just thinking about the list of characters there.
Why Longshot though? Longshot's the weird one. The Longshot's the weird one.
Maybe some characters were supposed to have the trait and don't have it now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think this means. Maybe this is just something that was copied and pasted, and hopefully before it goes live in game, that we actually see it on the front end of the game. It'll be corrected and not have all these errors in there. They have corrected data mines in the past. There have been errors in data mines in the past.
This is why you don't take data mines 100%, because they have a good track record of being wrong on a lot of cases.
Well, they're usually correct, but they're
no, not the data mines. I meant Scopely has a track record of screwing up. So.
All right, so who knows what this means? Maybe it's just an error, but I guess last but not least, Valentine's Blitz. Unconditional Love now live. Battle for a chance to win limited time orbs. Unconditional Love, sung by Gambit. What? We've had a song by Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider in the past. Is Gambit now a singer? And what does this mean? What is this? Is this something that was planned for Valentine's Day and it's now got pushed back because of Grand Tournament and this is not gonna go live? Or is this something that's actually coming on Valentine's Day? Were the rumors correct about Gambit and Rogue? Maybe not as playable characters, but maybe hosts of Blitz, like Doom was a host of the raids before he actually came to the game.
Is this a real song, or is this I never Googled it. I'm assuming not, but I didn't actually bother.
I mean, all of these are data mines, so they're in the game files. I don't think.
I mean, like, there's no real life song called "Unconditional Love" by the Gambit. Like, is there something I'm just not I'm not.
If there is, I'm not aware of it either.
Okay.
The only Gambit I'm thinking of in Marvel is the one that we're all thinking of that's been rumored for so many years here.
I mean, hey, maybe one year they'll actually come out on Valentine's Day. Maybe they might just show them in the background to tease, who's been wanting, Gambit and Rogue to come out for such a long time, and maybe we'll just see those two in the background of a Blitz. And in the past, we've had some Valentine's.
They're in the game because they're hosting Blitz now.
I mean, I doubt they're going to be as playable characters, but we've had some Valentine's stuff in the past where I remember, like, I don't know, what's it like Storm and Black Panther? Maybe they were separate Blitzes, but I remember that they did an homage to like different power couples, things like that. So maybe there's going to be some sort of special orb as a reward, and then inside the orbs have all of these sort of types of characters, that couple-y characters. I don't know.
If you unlock so many orbs, you could listen to this song. Or the other way around. If you don't unlock X amount of orbs, then you have to listen to this song.
Yep.
It's like an NFT.
They're just playing with us at this point.
They are. There's so much to do. There's so much to speculate on. I'm very hyped right now. I'm very hyped right now. Obviously, I'm disappointed that we didn't get some of these quality of life changes that I've been wanting and been pushing for. But this update overall, we got some war characters, not necessarily the most highly necessary characters in the game. So it's kind of a break patch. We've got some events happening. I think this is a positive. They just need to fix the crashing and fix the other bugs that they have, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What is your...
Oh, sorry.
I think I was going to ask you what you're already answering. So
yeah, it's okay. I think things are okay. As far as last patch, I know we're talking about this patch, but things haven't been too bad. You know, I'm thinking like, you know, Thanos giving from the past. I think we've definitely improved from some of this stuff now. So I'm hopeful, but of course, you know, you never know, right? What's around the corner for us. So fingers crossed, you know, that we get an okay patch, limited bugs, and fixing of the ones that we already have, because I think that's the most frustrating thing is the instability. And, you know, if you're playing a game, you're on raids, war, whatever, you get a crash, it's really frustrating.
It is, and yeah, and it's if the QA department would do their work in the front end, the customer service would have to do so much less on the back end of rewarding all this extra energy when the raids crash and the war battles crash. I mean, come on, Scopely.
Exactly.
You could be spending less man hours to do this, but that's how they run their business. Any final thoughts, Boilon?
Maybe one day I'll see you on the battlefield on war with my big young Avengers when I finish that off.
I hope not. Your young Avengers
Probably not, but maybe.
Too challenging for me. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you want more Marvel Strike Force content, hit that subscribe button. We do at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos on this channel every single week. Hit that thumbs up button because it helps the algorithm. And ring that bell. Join the notification squad so you know as soon as a new video goes up. Boilon, anything to promote on your end?
Not anything more than usual. You know, you can find me at youtube.com/Boilon, Boilon89 on Twitch, Wednesdays and Saturday afternoons, noon Pacific time.
I like it. You got numbers. You got numbers after your Twitch name as well.
Yeah.
All right. So all the links to his channel will be down below, guys. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to see what actually happened in that Red Star pitch meeting when it was originally pitched back at Foxnick at the time headquarters, make sure you check out that link up there. You can check that out and check out some more other videos. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be back next week with more Marvel Strike Force news. If you're listening to the podcast version, give it a thumbs up and check out some of the links down below. It supports the channel. Have a great rest of your day. Boilon, are you ready for that fist bump?
Sure am.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh, fist bump, ValleyFlyin, and Boilon. Out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.